Okay, hey guys, what's good? Yinks man's back, and today I am not putting a video of myself because I literally had to leave my house, come over to another location due to Nigeria being Nigeria. So today we're going to talk about article structure, normal grammatical rules, and other stuff like that. But first off, before we continue, just a quick recap of what we talked about in our last two episodes. The first one we talked about was SCRP optimization. What you do is that you pick your focus keyword, you copy and you search in your browser, and check the first three articles. Look at, I think our article might even be up here online, but basically what you do is that you check the first three articles and see how they fared, see how it was constructed and the focus keywords they used, how they put the internal link, so that you would kind of craft an article in a way that's similar or, most likely, most preferably more better than what is put there, so that Google can rank your article high in the search engine. Our second class, I talked about implementing anchor text with their corresponding internal links, and it's simply like picking the focus keyword of the article, which is the anchor text, and putting the corresponding internal link in a way that flows contextually and naturally with the article. Now, for this third class, this is the final class. We're just going to talk about article structure and simple grammatical rules. Now, guys, first things first. What I'm just going to do for this episode is that we're just going to open an article from a site. We're using Dexerto. I would also open from, should we check Games Reader? Let me see, which other sites do we? Let's check Game Rants. Game Rants is another popular site. We'll just check and see if we'll see how these guys construct the articles and why the articles are always ranked highly in this Google search engine. These are simple rules I feel like all of us should follow, and we need to construct our words in a way that actually makes sense. It makes actual sense. And yeah, so first off, nothing you'll notice about this: does Dragon's Dogma 2 have multiplayer? So this is the focus keyword of this article. All right, then this is most likely the meta description. But the long-awaited Dragon's Dogma 2 is fine set release. But will this sequel have multiplayer? Let's check our higher visibility to see if this thing actually if it's good for SEO. So let's put the meta description here. It's even too long, but guys, most likely would like ours to be something like we'll just have to find a way to optimize this. Here's everything you need to know. Here's everything you need to know. That's all. That's everything you need to know. That is all. This is just amazing, you understand? So 834 pixels out of 990 pixels. So yeah, that's basically it for the SEO title. That's what the SEO title was about. That's what the Dexerto's SEO title was about. But now let's see the introductory paragraph. You understand? Let's see, as I said before, I'm going to give us the first rule, yeah? We do not want each paragraph, to be more let's say 20 to 25 words, bro. 20 to 25 words should be the max number of 20 to 26 words, 20 to 25 words should be the max number of words in a paragraph. I don't want us to be doing this. I'm going to open a new document. Let me open Google Docs. We do not want articles to be like this. You understand? This is, you guys remember the trick I mentioned the last time, Control-Shift-C, to check the number of words. These guys, they even tried. You understand? Each sentence should not be more than 20 words, okay? So this one was 50, but it makes sense. Okay, the original Dragon's Dogma was a big hit for Capcom that provided players with an exciting action RPG featuring a sprawling open world to explore, a vast amount of enemies to defeat, and an extremely compelling combat system that many liken to a combination of Dark Souls and Monster Hunter. Guys, for our own articles, we do not want internal links in our introductory paragraph, okay? But for them, there's a reason why they're doing that, but for us, we do not want that. So, what I was trying to actually point out is that we do not want our paragraphs to be like this. You put your sentence, we don't want, basically a paragraph should not have more than max 3 sentences, you understand? This one, they even use only 1 sentence for that paragraph, which is amazing, you understand? But we don't want the situation where you now mumble jumble your paragraph and put it in, you mumble jumble your articles and put, this is 1 paragraph, and you now come here, you now put subtitle. No, this is unreadable, it looks ugly to look at. So what you will do is that you try and make your paragraphs really compact, 2 to 3 sentences max. In fact, 2 sentences is enough for each paragraph, okay? But if you can even keep it to 1 sentence and you could try and pass all the information across, you're good to go, okay? So now that is the first rule. Now the second rule, as I said before, we're going to just use reputable sites and see how they construct the article, so that they'll also probably go back to some of the articles we've written before and we see, and does Dragon's Dogma 2 have multiplayer? Guys, remember that this is the focus keyword. See what they did here? They used it as a subheading. That is something that you guys should understand. Now I'm going to go to is Dragon's Dogma 2 multiplayer, okay? I'm going to go to this secondary keyword here. Guys, when you're writing your article, try and include the secondary keyword, and also sometimes the tertiary keyword. The tertiary keyword, you can leave it in the body of your article, yeah? But the secondary keyword, try and make it part of your subheading, okay? Is Dragon's Dogma multiplayer? If we are writing this article, I would want us to try and see how we can, if it's not possible to put as a subheading, at least put it twice in the article, okay? So let's see what the Excerto even did, So they made sure that their focus keyword was part of one of their subheadings. No, Dragon's Dogma 2 will not have multiplayer. As detailed by Dragon's Dogma 2 director Hideaki Itsuno during the game's most recent presentation at Capcom Showcase, the sequel will be a single-player game, but it will feel like co-op due to the game's pawn system. The pawn mechanic, which was pioneered in the original Dragon's Dogma, allowed players to fully customize a second AI-controlled character who would journey alongside them and assist during combat. 2 more support pawns can also be added to create a 4-person party. Guys, I don't know if you've noticed one thing here. The article, this article by the Excerto is so easy to read. Okay, he's talking about multiplayer and why there won't be multiplayer, you understand, in this paragraph. This next paragraph is explaining the pawn mechanic, you understand. Next paragraph now is talking about, is going further into the pawn system, talking about additional support pawns that you can borrow from players and stuff like that, so basically you can see that this stuff is so easy to read. This article is so easy to read, and that's kind of how we will need to construct articles moving forward. There's one thing I've noticed in our previous articles is that sometimes we try and pack too much information in a paragraph, or we try and pack too much words in a sentence that doesn't make sense. So as I'm going to repeat the rule. The first rule, you do not want your sentences to be more than 20 to 25 words max. Sometimes if it's probably more than that, just leave that particular sentence as its own paragraph, okay? Guys, look at even this example now here. This particular article here if you notice, this paragraph had only 2 sentences in it. It's just so easy to read and it makes sense. Like a 5-year-old who has just learned how to read will be able to read this thing. Or maybe I'm being hyperbolic here, but let's say like 7-8 years old will be able to read this thing, and that's the most important thing. For grammar, yeah, guys, there's no need to use complex and big words, you know. I'm trying to think of an example. So let's say yes. Let me clear this out here. There's one thing I've noticed here. So let's say if I say Dragon's Dogma 2, Dogma 2 does not feature multiplayer. Multiplayer. So players should not expect Dragon's Dogma 2 multiplayer anytime soon. There's something now, guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's something fundamentally wrong with this sentence. And this is something that you guys try and avoid moving forward, called keyword stuffing. In a bid to include the keyword, you stuff the keyword and make it redundant in a sentence. You repeat it. This doesn't make sense. Okay, Dragon's Dogma 2 does not feature multiplayer, so players should not expect Dragon's Dogma 2 multiplayer anytime soon. Do not try this, guys.
Don't try it.
Don't do this. Okay? You need to construct your sentences in a way that actually makes grammatical sense. If I was speaking to you now and I'm like, okay, Dragon Dogma 2 does not feature multiplayer, guys, so you should not expect Dragon's Dogma 2 multiplayer anytime soon. Does that bloody make sense? No, it doesn't. For your articles, for your sentences, I want you guys to, as much as possible, avoid redundancy, repeating particular phrases or words in a sentence multiple times. You are not allowed to do this. Okay, please make, like, when you write these things out, read it, and if it doesn't sound well to you, I've mentioned this many times before, but just for this class, guys, if it doesn't sound completely right to you, it is not right. So try and find a proper way to construct the sentence. So now, how would we reconstruct this sentence for it to make sense? We want Dragon's Dogma 2 multiplayer in this sentence, but we don't want to repeat it 2 times. Okay. What we could do now is, like, if you're expecting to play online with friends, you should know that Dragon's Dogma 2 you should know that Dragon's Dogma 2 multiplayer is non-existent. Is non-existent. You understand? If you're expecting to play online with friends, you should know that Dragon's Dogma 2 multiplayer is non-existent. Yeah. The developers, let me say, like Capcom, the games developers hinted that Dragon's Dogma 2 was originally designed with single player in mind, with the help of the pawn system. You understand? So basically, this is way better than just saying like Dragon's Dogma 2 does not feature multiplayer, so players should not expect Dragon's Dogma 2 multiplayer. It doesn't make sense. If you're expecting to play online with friends, you should know that Dragon's Dogma 2 multiplayer is non-existent. Capcom, this is supposed to be, a break here. The game's developer hinted that Dragon's Dogma 2 was originally designed with single player gameplay. This single player should be like this, with single player gameplay features in mind. Like the pawn system. Okay, by the way, the pawn system, if you guys don't know what the pawn system is a feature in Dragon's Dogma where like the hero can pick, or the Arisen, that's the name of the hero in Dragon's Dogma, the Arisen can pick characters scattered across the world as part of their party, you understand? So the pawns will help them, in their quest to, defeat the dragon and whatnot. So yeah, that's just it, guys. So another thing is that, guys, if you go back to our internal links, so anchor text to corresponding internal links, you do not want to try and force it, you want to make it flow naturally, and that's basically it, guys. I'm going to let's go to game rant. Let me see if I can search for Dragon's Dogma. Okay, Dragon's Dogma 2. So I'm going to search for Dragon's Dogma and see if we can pick something from it. Okay, let me see. This was 2 days ago, so let us so let's do this. Let's look at these 2 articles. Okay, Dragon's Dogma 2, the long-awaited sequel to Capcom beloved 2012 action RPG, is a welcome arrival for the fans of the IP, and a bit of a pleasant surprise, as there was a long period where a Dragon's Dogma follow-up was anything but guaranteed. Unsurprisingly, hype for Dragon's Dogma 2 is through the roof. Assuming the game lives up to expectation, it will be a sign of things to come for another fan-favorite Capcom series. So guys, this is just a perfect introduction. Guys, if you notice, this paragraph didn't have more than 2 sentences. 2 sentences, and that was it. Straight to the point. Good introduction, to it, and it's kind of like paving the way for them to explain, why Dragon's Dogma is a real hope for Capcom. You understand? He now goes explaining why it is, and they start stating their points with like their subheadings and whatnot. So guys, if you want to actually succeed at this, just go to successful sites, The Verge, IGN, GameSpot, GameRant, Dexerto, Pocket Tactics. So many gaming sites out there for, and that's why they rank high, and try and see the writing style they use and apply it. Obviously, yes, you want to put your personality to it, but then there are rules that you need to follow. Once you follow these rules, you can now inject your personality under the banner of these rules. Okay, so guys, that's basically it for this video. If you have any questions, as I said before, you can ask me, or you could ask Emmanuel, and we'll get back to you. And let me see what they did for this one. Let's just, for a final example, let's see what they did for this one. Dragon's Dogma 2 already has official file size for PS5 and Xbox Series X and X. Gamers who want to play Dragon's Dogma 2 will have to clear around 65-70 gigs of space in their drives, depending on their platform of choice. You understand? Look at this introduction. It's just so easy to read, and it makes sense. Guys, please let us try and implement this moving forward, and I'm pretty sure it will be, smooth sailing from here on out when we are constructing our articles. Alright guys, Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions, ask in the comments, send a message to me and Emmanuel. I will catch you guys later. Peace.